Hello there and welcome to the Core Finance Show, sponsored by Beaufort Securities, a company that I've known for many years. I was there when they started and now they've gone to the dizzy heights of sponsoring this particular show. I'm joined by independent market strategist Matt Brown. How are you today, Matt?
Very well, thank you, Zach. Very well. Lots to go through today. In what would normally be a quiet summer period, market's actually fairly active.
It's never quiet here on Core Finance.
Always news.
Let's have a look at the initial headline here. FTSE down as IMF downgrades UK and US growth, a double hit. But I mean, is that fair? I mean, you can understand the UK downgrading that, you can understand the US, but they're not really going together though, are they?
No, I think there's a few moving parts. UK is Brexit, and the IMF are looking at Brexit, looking at the euro, saying, look, UK, you're getting some bad macro numbers come through. What's going on? We are not happy with the outlook for this year and certainly next year. So UK really behind the curve on global growth. And the US, I think they've looked at it and said, well, Donald Trump, you promised all these tax cuts and everything going on, and well,
people actually believe
Trump
him.
Isn't delivering. Well, he's got his own issues now, hasn't he?
Mostly in Russia.
Yes, indeed. So he may pardon himself. I was reading over the weekend.
I think he should pardon everyone. Beg your pardon.
Beg your pardon.
Okay, let's go on to the next headline here, which is the FTSE stock to watch. Reckitt Benckiser, not happy days apparently here in the world of condoms and other things like that?
Yes, I mean various household goods. Profits up, but like-for-like sales not as good as expected. So a few issues. Reckitt Benckiser, they came out at the back end of June saying they'd been under a cyber attack. That's going to affect their operations. And we're seeing that with the numbers. This is a big week for FTSE stocks, though. We've got about 40 to 50% of the majors reporting this week. So that is going to be one of the key drivers, I think, for the FTSE and stocks this week, certainly in the UK. So look out for that. Kicked off today with Reckitt Benckiser. Disappointing.
They should change the name. It's a bit of a mouthful, actually. RB is more than enough for most people, I think.
Associated with Royal Bank of Scotland, then maybe, and I think they don't want that, the PR.
Oh, yes, it could be a bit of a, yes,
advisors won't allow that.
Read across there. Right, CentralNic, I read this in the Daily Mail yesterday. It was a really understated feature that they wrote about this company. Internet domain name CentralNic has .buy written all over it. The shares are set to rocket, but obviously that's not financial advice, is it at all?
Well, no. Well, they have rocketed. They're up 20% on the back of this, or plus on the back of this article. A small AIM stock, but they trade and hold domain names, I believe.
That's right. So the .buy, .money, .this, .that, .com. I suppose they have that. Actually, no. I think they have .abc, which did very well because of Google changing their name foolishly to Alphabet. Yes. Okay, we move along to the pound, which is almost exactly the same as it was on the Friday show. So just around the 130 mark and 89.50 against the euro. I suppose traders would be suggesting that both of those markets are near the top of their ranges towards 89p and towards $1.30 if you are close to the market.
I mean, we'll look out for the Fed later on this week. This is the key economic driver, and the dollar's actually had a bit of a lift. Pound holding the 130 level, that may be due to the fact that FTSE's come back a little bit, so that pairs trade working its way through. Euro as well, we've had some weaker than expected PMI numbers out this morning from France, Germany and the Eurozone. So we could see the euro come under pressure, certainly looking at the euro dollar.
A little bit down, yes, isn't it?
Yeah, euro dollar pair as well.
Yes, okay, let's move on to the broker recommendations. And I mean, I have to sort of stop myself being a bit satirical about this, but Deutsche Bank covering Worldpay, in fact, which was announced a takeover approach a couple of weeks ago. They had a hold recommendation previously, which is which is fair enough, but the new recommendation is also a hold. And the company's just about to be taken over at 385 pence, so they've raised their target there from 310 to 380, just 5 pence below the offer price. But I'm not quite sure what the point of updating here. I mean,
is this Deutsche telling their clients to accept the bid? Is that what they're saying?
Or making it look, saying that it's 5p above our target. So yes, you should accept it. But it's just one of those things that I've always said that part of this process is just publicity, and so they've just covered the stock because it gives gives them a few eyeballs, and of course we're helping them get even more publicity.
Yes, indeed.
So they'll
Lots,
probably
lots more. So they'll think.
buy us a pint.
Yes.
Okay, we move along again. Economic calendar, US market manufacturing PMI, and then in Japan, Bank of Japan monetary policy meeting minutes for those who couldn't stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning the other week.
Key one for me is the market manufacturing PMI out of the US. As I say, we've already seen weak numbers out of Europe, and that could move certainly the euro dollar on the back of this. Bank of Japan, look, there was no shock in the rate announcements and comments that came with the announcement last week, so don't expect any big shocks from the meeting minutes. Key thing, though, is the Fed on Wednesday.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, Matt Brown, independent market strategist, thank you very much for coming in today, and that's it for the Core Finance show today, sponsored by Beaufort Securities.